3 years ago, a Catholic church stood in this location, not far behind me, here in Madison County, Nebraska, 12 miles from any nearest town. Today, this location has been returned to fields, and we pray in particular to the Lord to bless this land and all the land around it with needed rain for these crops to grow. I'm here in the Schoolcraft precinct of Madison County, Nebraska, southwest of Norfolk. Only a few years ago, you would have been able to visit St. Francis de Sales Catholic Church. In fact, in this video, I'm including some footage of the exterior of the church that I took in 2019. Then I was here working on a project, recording some reflections about St. Francis de Sales' introduction to the devout life. Quite fitting to record one of those here at a church location dedicated to that saint and doctor of the church. In 1887, someone from the Schoolcraft area traveled to the Franciscan friary St. Bernard to ask for a priest to come and visit Schoolcraft for services and to help to get a church built here. Franciscan Father Bonaventure Faulhaber was the one chosen. He wrote, "About the 13th of June, 1887, I said Mass, preached, heard confessions, and gave communion at the Joseph Clinch house. Then I searched out the number of families, sought information about Bohemians, Germans, and Irish. The assembly made the impression on me that a colony of very negligent Christians is living out here, who do not like to pay, who wish great conveniences, and who are in the saddest state in regard to their salvation." Not a very positive outlook on the state of faith at the time, but the authors of Franciscans in Nebraska comment, "These poor people had lived 10 to 12 years remote from church and had not received any attention, probably partly, more or less, through their own fault, and partly because of the lack of Bohemian-speaking priests." When Bishop James O'Connor visited St. Leonard's in Madison for confirmation, a delegation from Schoolcraft came with a long subscription list ensuring the bishop that they would be able to pay for a new church. They failed to mention, however, that the list contains names of Catholics and Protestants, Jews, and men of no religious background at all, largely businessmen of Madison, Lindsay, and Humphrey. In reality, the congregation was quite small and poor. But they managed to build their church in 1888, naming it in honor of St. Francis de Sales. Father Bonaventure Faulhaber was given charge of Schoolcraft and came from Madison on Mondays twice a month, giving religious instruction after celebrating Mass on Tuesday. The church contained a small room for priest quarters, partitioned off behind the altar. Father Bonaventure also came on fifth Sundays and holy days, and that was the best that he could do since he was also in charge of St. Leonard's in Madison, St. John Nepomucene in Joliet Township, and St. Bonaventure in Rayville. Missions that were rather spread far apart. The bishop had made all kinds of attempts to get Bohemian-speaking priests, but with only limited success. So in order to serve and teach the Bohemians here at Schoolcraft better, Father Bonaventure sought out to learn Czech, though it was not easy for him, and it was frustrating when few people ended up coming for catechism. The interior of St. Francis de Sales Church started out very simply, with no pictures, no statues, no Stations of the Cross, no books, not even candles for the altar, and no seating. And slowly these items were added, with the church being remodeled and redecorated in 1906. Starting in 1940, St. Francis de Sales was served by the pastor in Battle Creek. From 1940 to 1965, Benedictine sisters came from Norfolk to teach the children here. By 1975, there were only 15 families. At the occasion of the parish's 125th anniversary in 2012, one parishioner commented, "Most of us want to keep our community because when this church closes, and we know that it's going to happen one day, our community will be gone. Some will go to Lindsay, some to Battle Creek, and some to Madison for church." And this did come about 8 years later. November 1st, 2020, the parish was closed, and parishioners were brought into St. Patrick's and Battle Creek and St. Leonard's and Madison. With concern for the care of souls and to ensure the vitality of parish life in Madison County. The church itself ceased to be set aside for sacred use in 2021, and the church was subsequently demolished. Even though the small parish of less than 30 parishioners knew that this was certain to happen, it was not without great sadness. As one parishioner commented in 2012, "This is where our roots are for our faith and our farming community and our family." Mass continues to be celebrated at St. Patrick in Battle Creek, St. Leonard in Madison, and Holy Family in Lindsay, each about 12 miles away.